Well, whether it's hot, whether it's cold, whether it's hot, Frankie's got the weather we got. Wait a minute. Well, whether it's cold, whether it's hot, Frankie's got the weather, whether or not. There it is.
Good morning, Prince George, and good afternoon, Winnipeg. Hello, Kamloops. Hello, Vancouver Island people who are watching us on Shaw Spotlight. This is the Comedeorological Report. I didn't even say my own show name right. Comedeorological Report. I purposely made it so difficult that even I can't say it. It's a show about
Meteorological report.
Comedeorological Report. It's your show about how much the weather's comedy plus meteorology, right? Comedy and meteorology. So I'm doing a good job already making a fool of myself. It's your show about how much the weather sucks in Canada and beyond. How much the weather sucks everywhere, even on Jupiter. Weather just sucking. That's what's going on. So I'm here with my panel of meteorologists. Of course, number one is the most famous weatherman in the entire world, Frankie McDonald. And we have the most famous man in Brooks, Alberta, Brandon Houck. Weather specialists extraordinaire. And you never know who else might come on the show this week. But if they don't come on, to hell with them, because at least I got you guys. My name's Joey Only, by the way. I'm your host. And today is the 12th of what is it, October now? I don't even know what month it is.
October the 12th.
It's October the 12th. That's right, because this is the October the 3rd. This is the Friday the 13th episode. And that's why I'm wearing my Friday the 13th gear. Because facts about Friday the 13th, facts about Halloween, facts about bad weather. That's your show. Okay, let's get right to it. Over there in Sydney, Nova Scotia, he's the man who's got 6 million followers on YouTube and 16 trillion followers on TikTok, and everybody in Cape Breton seems to know who he is because he's Frankie McDonald. Frankie, how you doing so far?
I'm doing great so far. It's really foggy out in Sydney right now. I can see the fog in my hometown of Sydney.
That is extraordinarily foggy.
Because the warm air meet with the cold air, things like this. It's going to be a lot of rain in Nova Scotia on Friday and Saturday and Sunday and Monday, and the same with Vancouver, British Columbia, both East Coast and West Coast. There's a typhoon in the Pacific right now. It's going to bring lots of rain and wind in North Dakota, South Dakota, Minnesota, Iowa, Illinois, Indiana, and all these places in Nebraska. Lots of snow in Wyoming right now. It's going to bring a whole lot of thunderstorms down southeastern United States this Friday coming up. It's going to bring lots of thunderstorms rain southeastern United States, California, State of Santa Ana winds in Southern California. And in Arizona, that's where Gary and Dino show is in Arizona right now. They're getting Santa Ana winds where Gary and Dino is at. And sometime in the last weekend in October, Gary and Dino is going to Salton Sea, California. Siberia is getting colder right now in Russia. Vladivostok, Russia, will be getting a lot of storms this winter, so is Magadan in Russia. Yakutsk will be getting extremely cold weather in places like this. Murmansk, Russia, starting to get colder there right now. Rise in Russia, leaves are changing colors there right now.
Excellent, Frankie. Would you say that the fog in Sydney, Nova Scotia right now is more like pea soup, or is it more like peanut butter?
It's foggy right now in Sydney, Nova Scotia, as right now. And did you hear about this? On Monday night, I just did a video about facts about the Halloween night 2023. I just released a video on Monday night.
Yes, we're going to watch that here in a few minutes. Facts about Halloween 2023. Some of my favorite Frankie McDonald videos are facts about Halloween videos. Because does Dracula make an appearance at all?
That means I'll be working on a Dracula videos very soon. Facts about the Halloween night 2023. I'm just giving you advice to be real careful on Halloween. That video's coming up.
Okay, coming up soon on this show, facts about Halloween, Frankie McDonald, brand new Frankie McDonald video. Brandon, would you say that the fog right now in Sydney, Nova Scotia is more like pea soup or more like peanut butter?
Definitely.
There's a typhoon in the Pacific right now. Just exploded to a gigantic typhoon. It's aiming towards Alaska.
Oh, definitely pea soup. I think Frankie should make a foghorn noise. Do you think so? Yes.
That's pretty good. Yeah. I guess you
better than mine.
There's a little bug flying around my face.
Then we got a total solar eclipse heading right for Sydney, Nova Scotia on Monday, April 8, 2024.
There's a solar eclipse going to all over the place. There's a tiny little bug flying in my face, and it's like it's just getting right in between me and the camera.
Get him.
And it's like, I can't see. He's so small. I can't quite see. I don't know what it is. I hate it. I hate it, man.
Not one of those, those little maple bug things. They're whatever you call them. They're like red and orange and stuff. They're pretty invasive here in Alberta,
They got a whole lot of rain heading for Vancouver, British Columbia, and I found it on Edmonton's in Minnesota right now.
Minnesota. Are you good at a Minnesota accent?
Well, we know where Minnesota is, but where's Giant Soda?
Ah, Giant Soda.
That's probably in every.
That's
every
in my
restaurant in
fridge.
America. every restaurant in America. Hilding Donaldson, welcome to the show. Hilding Donaldson just showed up. We got Hilding Donaldson. He's over there in Grassy Plains, which is a community sort of south of Burns Lake, Francois Lake area of British Columbia. We'll be talking to Hilding here in a few minutes. Frankie, what else you got for us this week?
I'll be on Base Guy Show on Friday at 10 p.m. Langston time, 9 p.m. Eastern time. I'll be on Base Guy Show.
Yeah, how was your show last week with Jack?
Great. It went great. And did you hear about this? I just released the facts about the Halloween night 2023.
Yeah, I got it queued up right here. I'm just about ready to put it on for you.
Yes.
What do you think, guys? Is it time to watch Facts About Halloween?
Yes.
Let's do it.
Okay, we can do that. Okay, everybody, right here in the Comedeorological Report, the world premiere of Facts About the Halloween. Well, it's not actually the world premiere, but the television premiere, quite potentially. Facts About the Halloween night, 2023.
Here's my facts about the Halloween 2023. During the Halloween night in 2023 on Tuesday, October 31st, when the people go trick-or-treating and kids go trick-or-treating, you be real careful there. They'll be dressing up as ghosts, goblins, superheroes, pumpkins, and things like this. They can dress up as Frankenstein's, vampires, Draculas. They can dress up as ghosts and goblins, Draculas, vampires, and all the scary costumes like Frankenstein's, vampires, Draculas, things like this. And superheroes and sports players like hockey players, baseball players, doctors, lawyers, football players, basketball players, and things like this. They can dress up as construction workers. They can dress up as a lot of trained professionals on Halloween 2023. And it's going to be a great Halloween, but be very careful. Don't go roaming in the streets during Halloween because the bad kids could be smashing pumpkins and things like this.
Smashing pumpkins.
There could be a lot of bad kids out there in Halloween 2023. Be real careful out there. I urge everyone to take caution and do trick-or-treating. Watch out for bad kids. Don't go near those bad kids smashing pumpkins and things like this in Halloween 2023. They'll be getting candy and chocolate bars and things like this and chips and things like this and soda on the Halloween 2023. So shoes and things like this. When they go trick-or-treating, when the kids go trick-or-treating in Halloween 2023, it's gonna be a great year when the kids go trick-or-treating at Halloween 2023. I urge everyone to be extra careful. Don't go near the bad kids, smash the pumpkins and things like this, because there's gonna be a lot of bad kids in Halloween 2023. Make sure to avoid the areas where there's bad kids and things like this in Halloween 2023. I want everyone to be extra prepared when the kids go trick-or-treating and people go trick-or-treating and things like this. Be extra careful when you go to Halloween parties and things like this. Watch out for bad kids in Halloween 2023. Because the Halloween's on a Tuesday this year, it's on Tuesday, October 31st, 2023. Be real careful when you go trick-or-treating. Stay away from the bad kids, that's 1. Don't go near the bad kids, that's 2. They'll be dressing up as superheroes and things like this, and they'll be dressing up as ghosts, goblins, vampires, Draculas, Frankensteins, things like this. They can dress up as hockey players, baseball players, football players, basketball players. They can dress up as doctors, lawyers, because the Halloween night is on a Tuesday, October 31st, 2023. Be extra prepared. Stay away from bad kids. It's all across Canada and the United States of America and in different countries around the world. Be prepared.
Yeah, good point.
Be extra careful. Be safe.
Because you wouldn't want people in other countries to be like, well, that's just bad kids in Canada to stay away from. No, Frankie says you got to stay away from bad kids in every country in the whole wide world ever. What are the kinds of things that bad kids would do, Frankie?
They can smash pumpkins and things like this. That's one. They can hurt somebody. They can injure somebody. There's a lot of trolls and haters out there and clowns trying to, and they make each other, like especially those teenagers and things like this.
What about toilet paper? What would they do with toilet paper?
They can wreck the toilet paper, things like this.
Yeah, wrap stuff in toilet paper.
I just sent you, wait a moment, I just sent you a link to the professional photographer. I just, like professional photos of Frank now.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Professional. We can go look at that in a minute here. What else what would bad kids do if they had eggs on Halloween, Frankie?
They can smash eggs and things like this. It's really, really, really bad.
Yeah, I could smash eggs. Could smash pumpkins with
I
eggs.
just sent the link to Immigrant to professional photos of Frank Down. And John Radford released them on Tuesday. I just sent it to your Sky. I just sent it to your Facebook Messenger.
Yeah, I got them right here, Frankie. Got them right here. Pictures. That's of your entire whole body, isn't it?
All 9 of them.
So, what are you thinking when you took this picture, Frankie?
It went great so far. You can see all 9 of them.
What were you thinking when you took this picture?
It went great.
Are you being crucified here? Is this Frankie, the holy Frankie? Holy Frankie, child of God, Frankie. How about this one? Are you flying? Are you a butterfly, or are you worshiping God?
Just stretching up.
Just stretching.
Just stretching. Would you say this is a picture of your whole entire body, Frankie?
Yes, it is.
It's a picture of Frankie's whole entire body by professional photographer John Rashford. That's a nice one. Okay, here we go. There's Frankie's whole entire body. Oh, wow. Where's this, Frankie?
At Opener Park in Sydney.
Where's that? Is it near the ocean?
And that's where the steel plane, that's where Tar Ponds used to be.
Oh, and there he is. Frankie McDonald.
I just sent you to regular. I sent you the professional photos to me to regular email to use their next promo for Joey Only Show.
Yeah, we'll do that for sure. Excellent. So now when you see that picture, you will know to watch the show.
And did you hear what this? And I was on a Compound Media related podcast earlier in the week, and Trevor's Happy Hour had a special show back on Tuesday.
So my question for you, Frankie, is what about Friday the 13th? Do you know any facts about Friday the 13th?
That means it's an unlucky day, and people think it's an unlucky day. Plus, I'll be on Base Guy Show on Friday the 13th this month.
It's unclear why it's feared. Some historians believe that superstitions surrounding it arose in the 19th century. The first documented mention can be found by Gioacchino Rossini, who died on Friday the 13th. A 1907 book, Friday the 13th, by American businessman Thomas Lawson may have perpetuated the superstition. Others believe the myth has biblical origins. Jesus was crucified on a Friday, and there were 13 guests at the Last Supper the night before his crucifixion. Another account suggests the day has been associated with misfortune since 1307, when on a Friday the 13th, the French king gave the order to arrest hundreds of Knights Templar in France. The fear is very, really real, though. People are afraid of the number 13.
Ooh.
I was looking for facts on Friday the 13th, but this isn't really. Alfred the Hitchcock was born on a Friday the 13th, August 13th, 1899. So that's pretty good. 3 Friday the 13th can occur in a leap year if January 1st of a leap year falls on a Sunday. Research suggests it may not be that unlucky at all. There's very little evidence that Friday the 13th is unlucky because luck doesn't exist. That's why. On Friday the 13th, 2029, asteroid 99942 Apophis was discovered. It was discovered in 2004. There's a small chance of colliding with the Earth. It's supposed to go by us on Friday the 13th, 2029. There's absolutely no risk, though, of it. It will bypass the Earth altogether, won't it, Frankie?
It's going to bypass the Earth altogether.
Even though it's on a Friday the 13th. Superstition doesn't really determine where asteroids are going to go, does it?
The Brandon Houck Report.
Oh, hi. This is the Brandon Houck Report.
Let's talk to Brandon Houck here for a few minutes now. Brandon Houck, over
Yo!
in Brooks, Alberta. He's the radio man himself. And today you're wearing flannel. And Chris Murphy from Weather Network said, what about your flannel?
Now I have to go look for the tweet again. Oh my goodness.
Show the tweet off.
So this is the tweet. You can barely probably see it, but move over probability of precipitation. There's a new bop in town. It's played on point.
And it looks like we got a pretty nice weekend coming up for everybody here in Western Canada. Not so much for Southern Ontario, but then things are going to... Brian Schmidt is in the chat instead of on the show. I sent you the link, Brian Schmidt.
Many of us have served long Facebook jail sentences. It's a blast, man. I mean...
You come on here and tell Frankie do the tornado siren in person. I want to talk to Brian Schmidt because they've had incredibly hot weather in Portland, and he's a Portland weather guy. Come on the show, yes. Brian. He's probably got kids and supper and things going on. I know how it is.
Yeah, it's nice and warm in Portland right now.
And according to Brian Smith, let's do a tornado siren.
Holy moly. Oh, it says I'm playing music.
Brian, you will join the show. Frankie said so. And that's partly why I wanted to talk to him, because Brian's got an eclipse happening in Portland this weekend that they're going to be able to watch while it rains.
Yeah. Isn't that just perfect? Well, the nice thing about a solar eclipse, when it's raining, even if you get a total eclipse, it will still get dark out, right? So you'll probably still know when the eclipse is happening. You just don't get to look at the sun.
And next year, you'll be heading to Sydney, Nova Scotia. So Brandon and Joey imaging they're heading for Sydney, Nova Scotia Monday, April 8, 2024.
Brian, you will come on the show. Frankie said so.
Oh, yeah.
There's that little bug. I hope he's dead.
Brandon Houck said so, too.
Brandon Houck also said so. The Prime Minister of Canada said so, too, eh?
Hey.
Yes, I did hear about this. They got the eclipse heading for Sydney, Nova Scotia Monday, April 8, 2024. You'll be arriving in Sydney, Nova Scotia on Friday, April 5th, 2024.
Yeah, that's the plan. Gonna need to raise money somehow to make this happen.
Yeah.
Ricky wants me to stay at a really expensive hotel. Yeah, I've never taken holidays before. That's like out of my lexicon. It's always a tour of some kind, whether it was for music or it's for or a fire. So what do you got here, Brandon? You got this is cooling off in the prairies right now.
Oh yeah, we got a 0 on the board already. So I think we'll probably see some patchy frost tonight widespread frost tonight across Alberta as those temperatures really start to cool off. We've had some rain over the last couple of days, some beneficial rainfall. Some areas got 10 to 20 millimeters of rain, and higher elevations got a little bit of that wet snow. And Lake Louise ski resort there, Sunshine Village, up into the Icefields Parkway as well. And things are going to start to clear out. We'll take these temperatures off. First, I got to move you guys up because you guys are in my way. So
yeah, I know exactly what you're saying.
I pull you guys right over there, and they're over right over the temperature thing. So now I got to
move the heads.
And it's the wild time indeed. And temperatures, I'm going to put the pressure gradient on here as well. So temperatures are going to.
Can you put the pressure gradient on for me?
Oh yeah, that's what I do. I put the pressure gradient on for everybody to enjoy the pressure
and you might as well enlarge it. Use the bottom right there.
Or up over here as I zoom out like that. So that is the
no. I mean, and the bottom at the very bottom right, there's that square that makes it full screen.
Oh, yes, the square. That square, right?
Yeah. I mean, eventually
that square.
Eventually, you'll know everything that I know about Windy.
Oh yes. So this is the square, and it works mighty fine, I must say. But we got a nice warm up for the weekend, and the temperatures are going to approach the 20s here in Alberta. Meanwhile, things are going to get quite stormy on the Pacific coast as we're watching a couple. I'm going to go look at that one storm actually, Super Typhoon Bolivan here. in just a second. But this is a sneak peek at next week. We'll have to watch that Clipper system coming out of the BC later on next week. But I want to plot on a satellite imagery, and I'm going to go look at this storm because it is a beast of a storm, I must say, especially on the Western Pacific here. So we're just going to give it a second here and pull up the satellite imagery. You can see that clearing off to the west, and then we're gonna go right across the ocean as fast as I can, probably the fastest anybody's ran across the ocean, as you know. And there it is, the monster of a typhoon that was category 5 earlier today. I think it does, looks like it's taken a eye wall recycling, and then eventually
the eye's not clearly defined at the moment.
Not as clearly defined. I was going to take a look at this thing over here to see how strong the winds are. So it was 354 kilometer an hour wind gust earlier today. And yeah, it does seem to have weakened down a little bit. So it's now just a regular typhoon. So it's category 2 now, gusting to 282 kilometers an hour. So it's not as strong as it was before, but this thing's going to go bombogenesis near Alaska, as Frankie mentioned earlier, and it's going to be quite a storm for the Pacific Coast if it makes it all the way down.
Sometime next week, cold air is going all the way down Florida.
Oh boy, yeah, they had big tornadoes in Florida last night. Clearwater, Florida, there had that, or Clearwater Beach, Florida, had a significant tornado last night with severe weather. We also had severe weather in Nebraska today as well. It's been a fun time, I have to say.
And did you hear about this? They had a 4.7 magnitude earthquake in Afghanistan.
Oh, yes. I saw there was a 6.2 earlier this week somewhere on my... I have this earthquake thingy that pops up when there's an earthquake and goes boom, boom, boom. There's an earthquake. And it was a 6.2 or something. Pretty strong one in, I think, Afghanistan there earlier this week.
Did a lot of damage there.
Yes.
Frankie, how long do you think that Vancouver can escape earthquakes?
People in Vancouver, you can't escape earthquakes forever.
People in Vancouver, you can't escape from major earthquakes forever.
Yeah, can't escape from major earthquakes forever.
The Philippines had a 5.2 magnitude earthquake. And did you hear about this? The asteroid 1997 XF11 head towards the Earth on October 26, 2028.
Is it going to bypass the Earth altogether?
No, that's going to trigger a lot of earthquakes.
Frankie thinks it's going to trigger
gravitational pull.
Because of gravitational pull. It's a good theory. I could buy that maybe. How big is the asteroid though, Frankie? Is it big enough to actually do that?
The asteroid 1997 XF11.
How big is it?
Pretty big.
I can't believe Brian Schmidt still hasn't come on.
Come on, Brian.
Really? It's like it slapping us right in the face.
I like how our tornado
Brian, you will join the show. Frankie wrote that.
Oh, yeah. If Frankie says so, you got to do it.
That's right. It's not like I'm just saying it, and Brandon. So it's like it's not. He's rebuffing all of us. No Brian Schmidt for weeks. At least we got Hilding Donaldson.
Where's Noel and who was the other person? Ronnie and all those guys.
I don't know. Okay. No one seems to be coming on the show this week except for Hilding Donaldson. At least we got him. He's over in Grassy Plains.
What about Noel in Vancouver?
I don't know how. I haven't heard from Noel in a little while. I hope they're okay.
What about another person, Karen?
I don't know. Yeah. So many people who could be on the show aren't on the show. But at least we got Hilding.
What about
Hilding Donaldson?
What about Gabriel Berardo?
Yeah, I don't know where Gabriel Berardo is either. We could really use a weather rap from Gabriel Berardo. We don't have Gabriel Berardo, but we do have Hilding Donaldson.
Hilding can rap, right?
I don't know rap. I write tunes and things, but
well, you got to sing Frankie a song tonight.
You got to sing Frankie a song.
Yeah, you're gonna have a guitar sitting there, and you're gonna say you sing songs. Now you're gonna have to actually deliver on this, there, Hilding Donaldson. So here's Hilding. He's got. What are you gonna sing for us? Making hay, or you got something else? Got a weather song?
I wrote a little tune for my birthday, but I'll just do the intro line on it.
That's right. It's Hilding's birthday, everybody.
My birthday was on Saturday.
Happy birthday
Birthday to
you.
you.
Happy birthday
To
to
you.
you.
Happy
birthday,
birthday, dear Hilding.
Happy
Happy
birthday
birthday to
to
you. Hilding Donaldson.
Oh, thank you. And I wrote a little song that goes, as I sit here and wonder, I once up and wonder, things that I've learned through this year. Anyway, I got to kind of mix up there, but I'm sitting here pondering, wandering through the lessons I learned through all the year. And a lot of them are things that we've learned on the show here. It's been interesting.
Well, what are you gonna teach everybody today about cattle and
We had an interesting one yesterday. We had to move the cows across the road because they've eaten up all the grass on this side of the road plenty early. And we had to separate 3 bulls. So basically, you move the whole herd of cows into a pen, and then you get the bulls distracted from the cows while you let all the cows go out again. Because if you try to herd bulls across the field, they try to fight with each other and then they won't be herded.
so you just get them to follow the cows.
Yeah. You get them to move with the whole herd of cows, get them into the pen, and you chase all the cows out and leave the bulls behind in the pen, and then they'll stay there.
Good one. So some bull chasing going on there in Grassy Plains, British Columbia.
And we had an interesting fence repair we had to do. The swamp is so low because of the drought that the fence post actually jumped out of the ground and the wires were like 6 feet in the air going across the swamp. We had to go out and tie them down so the cows don't go underneath them where the water usually is.
Is that so? That's incredible.
And did you hear this? I just mentioned about the guy named John Ratsford.
John Ratsford, professional photographer. He took those nice pictures. Did you see those pictures of Frankie's entire body?
Mm-hmm.
How's the weather been in Grassy Plains? How's it been out there?
It's a good rain over the weekend, and we also had some nice warm weather in the past few days. And this morning we had our first killing frost, which is amazing. We usually have killing frost the first week of September.
Yeah, we had a hard frost here this morning for sure.
Yeah, we had a real light frost one time earlier in September, and other than that, it's always been +5 or more in the mornings until this morning. This morning it was down to, well, it was +2 when I got up, but it was a little chillier before because there was ice. It had rained last night, and there was ice on the windshield of the truck, like you couldn't even scrape with your fingers.
In the shadow side today, there was frost on the ground till well after 10 a.m. because the sun's now low enough that it's not high enough in the sky anymore that everything that's on the shadow side is frosty in the morning. Let's say. And of course, we had the ongoing battle with the bear because, as I was letting you all know, we had the foolish hippie in town who prayed over some nice new moose pelts for protection, prayed for protection on them, and was genuinely surprised when the bear came. The bear that I've been scaring off is now coming back to the crescent repeatedly because it had, what else does a bear want at this time of year?
Yeah.
So today I had several confrontations with it, including one where I hit it with a good sized stone, and it ran the other way. I cranked him. Yeah. Picked up the biggest rock I could, came up to the top of that draw. I was on top of him, just above him, big head on him like this, eh?
Yeah.
Pinged him right in the side.
And there's another professional photographer up in the Calumet Nunavut, Frank Reardon. He takes professional photos of airplanes and scenery and things like this.
And polar bears, I bet, as well. I wouldn't go throwing rocks at polar bears if I quite the same, but What's Brandon got here?
We got a couple of raccoons breaking into Mosaic Stadium in Regina earlier today. Climbing the fence. Yeah.
It's where the Rough Riders play.
That's correct. Where the Rough Riders play.
So
one of the good things is, and this is like something I've been trying to encourage, is it's been trying to get the people in town to chase this bear off. I've been trying to say that people don't just stop and take photographs of the bear and then post, saw the bear, stay away from this area. No, the thing you got to do when you see the bear that's been staying on the edge of town, coming around too much, is you got to start putting some fear into the thing. So that means directly engaging it. So there's some community organizing going on now here in Wells to continually address this bear every time it's seen in town now. So I feel like I've been pushing a good agenda and we're winning. People believe me that we can do this, that we can chase this bear off. But he's being pretty stubborn and persistent because someone fed him a big friggin' moose pelt.
Hi, Joey. I got a confirmation. The Philadelphia Phillies 3, Atlanta Braves 1 bottom 7th inning. Phillies lead series 2-1, Major League Baseball playoffs.
You know, the Phillies and the Atlanta Braves, the last time I remember them playing against each other was what year? It was 1993, and the Phillies won and went on to lose to the Toronto Blue Jays. All right, Frankie, how can people hear this show on the radio?
On the radio, you can listen to Joey Only Show, Comedeorology, everywhere on CFUR, 88.7 FM in Prince George, and CKUW 95.9 FM Winnipeg, and CFBX 92.5 FM in Kamloops is on Shaw Spotlight TV.
Thank you for the station callouts, Frankie. Okay, so facts about Halloween. Back to this topic.
When kids go trick-or-treating, don't go roaming the streets because bad kids could be smashing pumpkins and eggs and things like this. It could be the breaking bomb. It could be breaking some kind of bomb, so it make it smell really, really, really bad.
Oh, stink bombs, definitely. Yes, that is a good point. Want to be aware of those teenagers and trolls, eh, Frankie?
There's a lot of trolls and haters out there and clowns trying to, they make each other, like, especially those teenagers and things like this. Teenagers and young trolls and young teenagers and like in middle school and high school, watch out for stink bombs. They make it smell
Watch out
really
for stink
bad.
bombs.
Watch out for them. Go use stink bombs, things like this. Smashing eggs, smashing pumpkins, things like this. Watch out for teenagers, especially bad teenagers.
Question number 1. How old is Halloween? Really old, says Frankie. What's your guess, Hilding?
Well, it depends. It dates to 587 when it was made a holiday in the Catholic Church as Hallowed Evening, what the name stands for. But the actual celebration of the Erie moon that is out in October goes way further back than that in several different cultures.
Halloween is even older than Christianity itself. It was once called Samhain. Okay, how long has trick-or-treating existed?
Since the medieval times.
Correct. Since the taking candy from strangers on a one night a year isn't uniquely new or American. It was called guising in Scotland and Ireland. Young people dressed up in costumes. They went door to door looking for food, and that's how it went.
Then the day after Halloween's All Saints Day in Mexico. Then 2 days after Halloween's All Souls Day in Mexico.
Some Halloween rituals used to be geared towards finding a husband. Yeah, so when bobbing for apples at parties, the winner would supposedly marry first. Most spookily, they even used to stand in a dark room holding a candle in front of a mirror to look for their future husband's face to appear in the glass. Man, those were the good old days. Okay, who helped popularize the holiday in the U.S.? Who helped popularize the holiday?
The Irish.
Are you Googling?
What? What's Google? What? No, never would do that.
When was trick-or-treating paused? What world event paused trick-or-treating? Frankie, when was there no trick-or-treating?
1975, when Blizzard hit Sydney, Nova Scotia, before I was born. Then they postponed Halloween till the next day.
So there was that one time in Sydney, Nova Scotia, they postponed it to the next day. Hilding, what was another time that across the board, though, was like for everybody, trick-or-treating was canceled?
I'm not sure. You got me on one that.
Sure, it might have been the World War II from 1939 till 1945.
Correct, Frankie. Sugar rationing during World War II paused trick-or-treating.
Okay.
And the First World War from 1914 to 1918, and the Spanish flu pandemic in 1918, 1919.
Mm-hmm.
On the list of commercial holidays, where does Halloween rank now in terms of money spent?
Over $1,000.
We have in the list of holidays, where do you think it ranks on the list?
Oh, I'm going to go number 3.
Number 3, Brandon says. Frankie, what do you think? Where does Halloween rank for money spent?
Number 3, Christmas is number 1.
Christmas is number 1. That's correct. And number
Easter
2.
is number 2.
Number 3 is Easter. Number 2 is Halloween.
And then what about Inauguration Day down in the States? It's taxpayers' money spent for Inauguration Day in the States.
Who came up with the jack-o'-lantern? Who brought that to the United States?
I'll let Hilding guess first.
Well, I was just reading or listening this week to the history guy's idea on no, it wasn't the history guy either. It was somebody else. It was the story of Sleepy Hollow, and a lot of people claim that the headless horseman carrying a pumpkin was the beginning of the jack-o'-lantern, but they said no, that it actually goes way back in Europe. I think it was in Scotland.
As the story goes, an Irish guy named Stingy Jack took the drevel, and he was doomed to carry a lantern. He was Jack of the Lantern.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
somehow they decided to make his head a pumpkin. I don't know.
But that story is where Washington Irving got his information to make the story of the Legend of Sleepy Hollow from.
Jack-o'-lanterns, they did originate in Ireland, and they were also turnips, potatoes, beets, things like that could be used to make jack-o'-lanterns. So, there's this big boom every year to buy pumpkins, and you could be the smart one and be like, you know what? I'm just going to use a potato.
Yeah.
And I guess that's why when the potato famine happened, everyone came to America and brought Halloween over. They're like, man, all there is to eat is no potatoes. Let's go somewhere and start Halloween and eat sweets. There's also traditional Halloween bread in Ireland. Okay, what state produces the most pumpkins, Frankie?
That means that some of those are pumpkins in the States. It must be in the eastern United States somewhere.
Okay, he's guessing somewhere in the eastern United States. Brandon, what do you think the most pumpkins are grown in the United States?
I'm going to guess Illinois.
You're Googling this, aren't you?
No.
Yes, 15,000 acres are devoted to growing pumpkins in Illinois. 500 million pounds of pumpkins annually. That's 5 times more pumpkins than any other state. So we think of Illinois as wheat and corn and things like that. That's a lot of corn, man. I tell you, when I was a kid and I hitchhiked through the Illinois, all I saw was corn. I never saw any pumpkins. But then again, it wasn't Halloween, so what do I know?
I am not on Google, no. I'm on another website. It's called goodhousekeeping.com.
Yeah, get off that site. You're kind of ruining the game.
That's the practice in the United States to plant pumpkins around corn to keep the weeds down for many years before they came up with cultivation for corn.
How fast is the world's fastest pumpkin carving? Anyone got a guess? How fast was the world's fastest pumpkin carving? How many seconds did it take a guy to carve a pumpkin?
I'm going to be nice about this one and not look at my page. And I'm going to go with 13 seconds.
Brand guesses 13. Hilding, what's your guess?
Well, I would have said 12, but
Frankie, what's the fastest pumpkin carving ever?
15.
Frankie's the closest on the Price is Wrong game. 16.47 seconds. Stephen Clark of New York. He's the Guinness Book of World Records holder. New York also throws the biggest Halloween parade in the United States. Harry Houdini died on Halloween.
Well, who wants a little this day in history, in weather history?
Okay, give her.
So this day in
All right.
1936, strong cold winds whipped snow into blinding blizzards across Quebec. In Quebec City, the snowfall was so heavy that children could make their first season snowmen. New Brunswick suffered the worst damages in gales with thunder, hail, rain, and freezing rain. The fierce winds hurt crops, interrupted utility services, flattened farm buildings. In Nova Scotia's Annapolis Valley, the winds blasted 50,000 barrels of apples from the orchards. That's
And
the day back in
50,000.
1936.
And then this week in 2016, Hurricane Matthew struck Sydney, Nova Scotia, brought 224 millimeters of rain in a half a day, knocked out power for 36 hours in my neighborhood.
Wow.
That's crazy. You've been getting a lot of hurricanes lately, haven't you, Frankie?
Lee barely missed us.
That was pretty close. It hit. It
And
kind of
Philly
hit part
barely
of.
missed us too.
So yeah, you're getting tough to be on the east coast of Canada. Why is it happening so much now?
Climate change and Green Lane block and things like this. And there's a lot more waters, the warmer Pacific waters, the warmer Vancouver's getting tough now because atmospheric rivers getting stronger come from Hawaii. That's another thing. And fires are getting stronger in British Columbia.
That's exactly what seems to be happening, isn't it?
We had a big scare today. The neighbor lady called us up and said, please, can we go check? There's a great big flare behind her farm just over the hill. And so Victor and I went out and we had to drive on a bunch of logging roads. We found out that somebody had burned their slash piles because it rained last night. They figured it was dry enough to burn slash piles. But it didn't take off anyway, so.
What else you got for weather on this day, Brandon?
Weather on this day. Well, actually, speaking of haunted stuff. Oh, yes. So, weather, strange footsteps echoing in the hallway, eerie presence when you're alone. 2 in 5 Americans say they've experienced unusual, unexplained occurrences at home. A new report has found that more than 1/3 report of hearing unexplained sounds such as footsteps or voices. And nearly 1 in 5 have seen apparitions of ghostly figures, and 1 in 10 have used Ojua, I don't know how to say that, board at home.
Ouija boards.
Ouija board at home, but
Ojua.
never do it again.
Did you hear about that country in Russia? You're not allowed to take pictures of dams and things like this, and churches and things like this, and railroad tracks and train stations. In government buildings, and churches and things like this.
Did you hear, Frankie, that 1 in 5 Americans has psychiatric moments and admits it and thinks they're seeing ghosts?
Mm-hmm.
1 in 5 Americans are religiously obsessed.
I think I have seen a ghost before. I think I have, because I was like 5 years old. We were at this house in Callaway Park here. And I go upstairs, and there's just one room upstairs, and there's 2 people sitting there with their kind of same clothes I have on, and they're sitting around and say, "Hey, how's it going?" Good. So then I run back out of there, and my parents come up and tell me, "Who am I talking to?" I was like, "There's 2 lovely people who are sitting in the room here." And we walk around the corner, and they're gone, and the chairs are gone. Now that is creepy.
But kids have imaginary episodes, like.
Oh, they were totally ghosts. I know it.
And kids are the most willing to believe in ghosts.
That place is haunted, by the way, Callaway, at Heritage Park in Calgary. Oh yeah.
So what you're telling us is you might be an American.
No, I'm a Canadian who's seen ghosts. Oh yeah.
Brandon, what is the most hated Halloween candy?
Oh, I bet I heard it's candy corn, but then everybody forgets about black licorice. But Candy.
People don't like black licorice.
Some people don't.
Apparently.
I think it's a toss-up between candy corn and marshmallow peanuts. I think that's what history guy had.
I don't think I've ever had marshmallow peanuts.
They're really common in the States.
Oh, yeah. That's
We have
probably why.
marshmallow bananas here. They're more common.
Marshmallow bananas. Right. Yes, I know what you mean. The marshmallow peanuts. Yeah. Yeah. They're shaped like a peanut, but they're a marshmallow and they're disgusting.
Yes. And they're one of the most hated candies in the United States. But they aren't as common in Canada because we usually have marshmallow bananas or marshmallow strawberries here.
Which we hate equally.
Yeah.
So it defies logic that these companies can exist for so long producing candy that people just hate. Now, black licorice, I'm Dutch, so at least, I have a thing for black licorice, especially if you put some salt in it. Doppelzout. Droppy. The drop. That's what
I hear it's really good in Tiger ice cream. It's partially made of black licorice, isn't it?
I don't know. I don't eat ice cream because it makes me sick. All right.
So obviously, I'll show you.
Here's my new episode. Brand new episode on No We Only Care. Hey, back in August when we went looking for a recorded new spot. We found the spot. Had to walk through a river to get to it.
Basically.
Usually just dumps out, and that's fucking, you're right, like insulation.
Yeah, pretty wet feet there.
Yeah, they're wet.
Yeah.
Here we are out in the middle of absolute nowhere. And here's whole bunch of hot areas I'm standing on. We got trees ripping somewhere in the distance out of the blue. So we know this isn't the only place. So definitely already getting hotter today. Thunderstorm development seems to be kicking off early. It's 11 a.m. So I called my first weather report in. I'm here waiting for some water to start working this area. Increased fire behavior is what we're already seeing. Things are drying out. Buildup index is starting to rise. And certainly we're going to see fires in this area we're in get more active. And certainly down south, that's been going on already and will increase. I'm using this little hose here. We got a Shindawa pump set up. The beauty of the Shindawa is that it's very small, so we could carry it in easily through all that thick stuff we had to hike through, which was fun actually. I enjoy that stuff. I enjoy a thick hike. The other benefit of it is that you don't need a very large water source to stick it into, so that tiny little creek we have back there is enough, whereas with a larger pump we'd need a bit of space to run it. So we got helicopters now bucketing over in that area where we seen that little blow up going on, and I'm having fun. Buckets on it here. Looks like we're really close, but it's kind of an optical image. It's not as close as it looks. And it's probably like 80 feet or 100 feet. With the zoom lens, it's got a nice angle on it. That's an A-star, that chopper. A-stars can be light or intermediate choppers. Isn't that cool looking? I don't know how many hundreds of planes have been around. A lot. The first time I ever saw one, I was like, whoa! It's happening! Wow, it's like, it's part of my summer. Bucket ship attacks. I used that opportunity while he was bucketing to get a bit of lunch into us, fix our tools, sharpen them. See, there he's gonna knock that handle back in on that plastic. Here's a guy just use buckets.
patch.
Well, turn our backs and the new place lights up. And it's picking up fast. Luckily, we got a helicopter who's been dumping on our spot, who's going to hit that one next.
Here he comes. Pretty accurate, these guys. Man.
Nice one.
So there you go. That's this week's episode of Joey's Wildfire Season.
Oh, yes. Who wants to see the new gecko in Madagascar? New gecko species.
As for my social media, if you want to follow me on social media, my Twitter is @FrankieMacD. My Blue Sky is @FrankieMacD. My Linktree is Frankie MacDonald. My Facebook is Frankie MacDonald. My Instagram is Frankie MacD984. My TikTok is FrankDonald984. My Clapper is FrankDonald984. My Twitch is FrankDonald984. My Snapchat is Frankie ABCD1. My YouTube channel stock is Whoops, and my LinkedIn is Frankie Down.
Yeah, I don't think there's many geckos in southern Alberta, but yeah, we gotta make our own content. That's the big thing, right? So that's a spot,
You gotta
especially.
snap pictures of animals. You gotta snap pictures of animals and things like that. That's one.
That's when people send me video clips and content that I can use for the show. That's the most amazing thing that anyone can do, because it gives me more I can put in, because we can't do what we can't just be like a regular YouTube podcast. We got to be Shaw Cable TV.
That means
ready.
And as for your homework, you gotta right click and save images and things like this. Ready? You can, if you see those animals, you can right click and save.
Well, I think even if we didn't take the picture, we're technically not supposed to. I mean, the pictures of Frankie with John Rashford, those are good pictures because they're you, right?
They're me.
That's why they're good pictures, but also we're allowed to use them because they're you. So we have all the ins and outs of having to be a TV show.
Brandon, if you had your own regular digital camera and Joey has his own and Hildy has her own, they'll be taking pictures.
We could all take lots of pictures, eh?
Yes. If all you guys had a regular digital camera.
Yeah, I got this thing here, and it takes pictures.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how all those videos that during my fire season, all I did was just click it on and then hit record and do this while I'm working for 30 seconds here or there. And then by the end of the summer, and then they upload to my cloud. And by the end of the summer, I have hundreds of videos that were in storage to go through. So I'll be making wildfire videos for a while to come. Videos from our season.
Over in Russia,
and the point of those videos is I want everyone to see that we're all trying really hard and that we are putting fires out and we're committed to doing that. We're good at our jobs, both ministry and contract crews and people who come from around the world to fight fires. We all want to win. We're all interested in success, right? And people are very professional and very positive, and the atmosphere is a really great working environment. And sure, crazy stuff happens sometimes, but it's the best job on earth.
Hey, Joey, over in Russia, what things you're not allowed to do in Russia?
Over in Russia, you're not allowed to
speak against the government. You're not allowed to have freedom of speech either. You're not allowed to take pictures of dams, railroad stations, train stations, airports. You're not allowed to take pictures of industrial properties and dams and churches and things like this.
Not even allowed to get a big hamburger anymore. That's right. Well, I think we pretty much got through an hour of the show, and we did our best we could for everybody out there.
Over in Singapore, you're not allowed to jaywalk. Over in Singapore, you're not allowed to jaywalk. There's a lot of rules, strict rules in Singapore.
Not allowed to steal Wi-Fi over there.
How strict is Singapore? So I don't steal Wi-Fi. It's a free Wi-Fi.
Can't steal Wi-Fi in Russia, though.
Yeah.
Because if you do, off with your hands. So that's this week's show. I'm Joey Only here up in Wells, British Columbia, Caribou Mountains, at my wonderful lodge, sitting by my fire. I'm here with Hilding Donaldson. He's a couple hundred kilometers that way from where I'm sitting right now. And we got Brandon Hauk, who's in his home there in Brooks, Alberta. He's the radio weatherman. Everyone knows him in Brooks, Alberta. He's so famous that the mayor even goes to recognize community leaders, not because the community leader is going to be there, but because Brandon's going to be there. So that was a great story Brandon told us earlier about how much the mayor loves Brandon. He's got nothing to say. He's just smiling, but he's got nothing to say. And then, of course, stealing Wi-Fi out there in A&W in Sydney, Nova Scotia is Frankie McDonald.
Nelson T. Riley. It's just, I don't steal Wi-Fi.
No. Not even a little bit? That's the show for this week, everybody. And we'll see you next time.
Trippy. This one here has some excellent structure. We got ice crystals on top, a nice halo. So it's exploding up. Definitely we've seen that lowered base earlier. Looks like an atomic bomb going off. That's always a good sign. We got a rainbow going on over here. So that's how you know God will never flood the entire earth again, you know. And this guy's trying to blow up, and he's got a little bit of an ice crystal layer on top. That's real pretty. Nice flat base, you know, no precip coming out of it. British Columbia strong. And that's what people are going to need to be, I think, because we're coming into a forecast pattern that's alarming to me. All them mare's tails can only mean one thing for today. Big time thunderstorm day in Caribou, Prince George, and all points north. That is one hell of a storm. Look at that. It looks so awesome in the... You get a cookie today.
I have a squished muffin in my bag.
You can have it. That's what you get.
Look at this.
Thank you for the present. Very appreciated.
Absolutely.
That is some serious Tetris.
Some warranties were voided today.
That's the too cool for school look.
Wait,
No.
One of these will be worth $1 million. It'll be on the National Geographic.
paparazzi here.
Yeah. Hopefully Dave doesn't drive by right now.
Oh, this is super cool. Okay, hold that smile.
Yeah, come
Like
here.
1, 2, 3.
Oh boy. Okay, how's this working? Head over here. Yeah.
Yeah, right on.